When I moved to Canada in 2015, I had to start building my credit score from scratch. 10 years later, it's now at 816. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what a credit score actually is, the exact system I used to build mine, and why it matters beyond just getting approved for loans. A credit score isn't a measure of how much money you have, it's a measure of how predictable you are. Basically, it's your financial trust score, and it tells lenders how reliable you've been in the past at paying back borrowed money. So the scores in Canada range between 300 to 900, and in the US, I believe it's 300 to 850. I'll also put a breakdown on the screen right here. And if you think about it like a data problem, like I do, it makes perfect sense. The longer your credit history and the more consistent your behavior, the easier it gets for lenders to predict what you'll do next. So it's similar to having a large sample in data analysis. The more data points you have, the more confident you'll be in the patterns that you're observing from your model. You might wonder why lenders obsess about the score so much and why it's so hard to get loans without a score or with a bad score. It's because they don't know you personally. They don't know your intentions. They don't know your plans. And honestly, they don't really care about how rich or poor you are. What they mainly care about is if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. If you borrow money, will you pay it back? And will you pay it back on time? And all they have is data, your past behavior that they can use to predict your future behavior. Now, is this something that if you've messed up in the past, you can never fix again? Absolutely not. It's all about building better habits slowly but surely, and the small fixes even can either fix your score or if you don't have one, can help you build it. When I started building my score in 2015, I followed a very simple principle. I only spent on credit what I actually had in my debit. Now, it seems pretty obvious, right? But it's not what people end up doing. What I was doing was every time I spent money on coffee, groceries, shopping, whatever, I immediately transferred money from my bank account to my credit card. Now, it seems a little excessive, and honestly, it was very annoying at first, but what I was trying to do was I was trying to build the muscle of paying back money and only spending what I actually had, and it helped in two ways. First, I never overspent. I always made sure that I was only spending money that I actually had, because when I would go in to transfer the money, it was like very clear to me if I had the money or not. Second, it guaranteed that I could pay my credit card balance in full every month because I was paying it as I went. And so this is something that I was using when I wanted to build my score, and I find that it gets really helpful if you're trying to build the muscle of paying back money. It also kept my credit utilization low. Utilization is the percentage of the money that you're using. So basically the amount you're using versus the amount you have. And the lower it is, the better for your credit score it will be. The recommendation, I believe, is to keep it under 30%. Mine is about 3%, so it's pretty low. After doing this for a few years, I noticed the things that help with the score and things that don't really matter as much. The first is obvious, making sure you don't miss a payment anytime. So even one missed payment can affect your score. However, if it's your first missed payment, you can always call your bank or the credit union and they can forgive that one mistake. I've done it before because I've missed a payment before and I called them and they fixed it. But if you do it over and over, unfortunately, there's no relief. The second is to keep your credit utilization low. So keeping your balance low can really help. Make sure it's below 30%. So the lower, the better. The third is the length of your credit history, and this is why closing old accounts can hurt your score, but we will talk about an important consideration in a minute. What doesn't matter as much as people think is your income, because you can have a very high income and a terrible credit score, and people who face lifestyle creep when their income goes up or don't really control their spending face this issue. So they could have a really good income but a horrible credit score, and someone with a modest income could have a very good credit score if they actually pay back the loans that they've borrowed. So now there are some mistakes that people make, and I was actually surprised by the first one when I was researching for this video, because it seems like that people tend to carry a balance because they think that it helps their score. I'm not sure how that would work, but it really doesn't help your score. So try to pay off your credit card balance as soon as possible, and you're just paying interest for any balance that you're keeping. So you're paying more money and you're hurting your score. So it never really helps. And the second is that people sometimes close all their accounts to clean things up. This actually shortens your credit history, but like we mentioned, there is an important consideration for that. For example, if you're having trouble keeping up with your debt and you want to close your credit cards, do it. Paying off debt and staying away from consumer debt especially is more important than your credit score. I have closed a credit card before, even though the financial advisor at the bank was really pushing me not to, because he was just trying to get me to understand credit scores. But I just could not keep that credit card. It was hard for me to handle, and I just wanted to get rid of it. So sometimes getting rid of your credit card is really helpful for your situation, especially if it helps you stay away from consumer debt or pay it off right away. So if you can, don't close your credit cards and don't close your accounts, because it will shorten your history. But again, this is an important consideration. Paying off debt is always number one. Paying off consumer debt is always the number one priority over anything else. Another mistake that I've made in the past is missing payments because you forgot. If you are somebody who tends to forget, then set up auto pay. It really helps. But for that, you have to make sure that you're spending less than you're earning so that you don't go into overdraft when you set up auto pay. So keeping that in consideration, make sure that you can set up some automations that help you pay on time. Another mistake that I've seen is not checking your credit score for years. I try to check my credit score every 4 to 6 months at least, because it keeps you on track of your finances and also can tell you if there is a fraudulent activity. So if, for example, someone is using your identity, or if you misplaced your credit cards, or if your card was stolen, you'll see that reflect in your credit score, because your credit score can drop dramatically if there's any fraudulent activity on it. So make sure that you are checking your credit score every 4 to 6 months. It's very easy. You can create an account on Equifax. That's the screenshot that I showed earlier of my credit score. So it's a free account. You can simply log in, and you can use that account to see all your activities and your score. So why does having a credit score matter? It's not just for bragging rights that you can tell everybody that you have a high score. It has real practical benefits. Let's look at housing as an example. If you're looking to get a mortgage, for example, a higher credit score can save you thousands of dollars over the life of the loan, because the interest rate that you get for a better score will be a lot lower than somebody else gets who does not have a score or does not have a decent score. If you're renting an apartment in Toronto, for example, the rental market is very competitive, and most landlords, actually, I think now all landlords, check your credit score, so it helps with that as well. Your credit score is a reflection of your behavior, and behavior can be improved. So if you improve your behavior, your credit score will improve over time. If you're starting from zero, getting to a 700, 750 can be easily done in a few years. But if you're recovering a bad score, it might take longer depending on what damaged it. But again, it's always fixable. The key is just starting and being patient and consistent with good behaviors over a long period of time. I've heard people say that you can quickly fix your credit score. I honestly don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's possible. If this is actually true and you know how to, let me know in the comments below. I would be very interested to read that. And I think that improving your behavior really helps when you start improving the mindset around money. If you're interested in learning how to improve your mindset around money, you can watch this video right here. If you found any part of this video helpful, I would love it if you subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.